Hello, weight loss winners and fruity family. This is Lexi with Lexi's Healthy Dynamic Life. Thank you so much for joining me today on this episode all about the Rawsome Release Method. If you've been following me on Instagram or Facebook, you might have heard me talk about the Rawsome Release Method. And you might be wondering, what the heck does that mean? What is this all about? And I'm going to share all about that with you today. And what's really exciting is that the Rawsome Release Method can work for anybody, anywhere, anytime, no matter what's going on in the outside world. I know we're living in such a crazy time right now in 2020 with the COVID-19 pandemic and all of the quarantine issues and restrictions that have been coming into mandate, but despite all that craziness, anyone can utilize the Rawsome Release technique to improve their own lives and well-being. So the Rawsome Release method came about when I was on my weight loss journey. I was 70 pounds overweight, so at 5'2", I was 170 pounds, and I was suffering physically, mentally, emotionally. In every aspect of my life, I was suffering. It hurt to stand. My feet were swollen. My feet were sore. My joints ached. My muscles ached. Like everything just hurt. And because of that, on top of that, I felt depressed. I was anxious. I was at the bottom of my rope. And I really thought that I just had to accept the way things were, and this is just who I am now. I just need to accept that. And that was really hard to do because my whole life I've had such a zest for life, a passion for dancing, for traveling, for practicing yoga, for trying new things, and to just accept that I was going to live the rest of my life in bed on the couch and in constant pain was really terrifying for me. And so it kind of happened accidentally. My sister in Austin, Texas called me to visit her and to help assist her with a move. And so I accepted. And I realized, hey, my sister nor my friends that I had made when I lived in Austin, Texas a few years back, none of them had ever seen me at this size and in this mental state. So I made the choice to do whatever it took to release the excess weight as quickly as possible. And at first it was purely for a superficial reason. I just wanted to look good so my friends and my sister would approve and would remember me as the light, fun, bubbly Lexi that they always had known. And I also just wanted to get in my swimsuit, go swimming in the natural springs there, because in Connecticut in March it's really cold, and in Austin in comparison it's nice and warm and definitely worth going swimming. So I read the book Fit for Life by Harvey and Marilyn Diamond as recommended by my mom, and it took me a few days to read it, but it just made so much sense. I absolutely loved it. It totally resonated with me, and I had this aha moment, like, I can try this. I have nothing to lose except the excess weight, but it was worth a try. And the way that these authors, Harvey and Marilyn Diamond, described what was going on, it made total sense. So I decided the next day to go for it. I was going to eat fruit till noon and eat raw till 4. And I just felt so amazing eating fruit for breakfast. I felt light. I had a smile on my face. I had the desire to move. It was really different than how I had been experiencing life daily for over a year. And I just felt so amazing that I decided I want more fruit for lunch. I want a salad for dinner. And I kind of accidentally became eating as a raw vegan overnight from eating omnivorously. And along the way, I've tried having some cooked foods. I've tried doing raw but a high-fat diet, and I've learned a lot. to say the least, on my journey. But I'm super grateful for every experience that I've had, because it's shown me something really important for my personal journey and growth. And I've learned from that. I've learned how I want to feel and what choices I can make to create those results. I've learned how I don't want to feel, and I've learned to avoid choices that lead to that result. And what I've come to realize through this weight release journey is that it's not just about releasing the excess weight. Of course, that's a big part of it. By releasing 70 pounds, I felt lighter. I felt less pain. I felt desire to move. I felt joy. I felt free to move. And that was such a huge part of my health and healing and wellness journey, was releasing all that I was carrying around, that wasn't serving me to my highest purpose and to my highest good. But beyond that, which I was physically carrying around with me in excess, that really translated to what I was carrying around mentally as well. What kind of thoughts and stories that I was literally storing in my being that were not serving me. Stories of how I wasn't good enough, how I would never be able to heal myself, how I had to accept this as my fate or my future, and just all of these memories of past relationships and stories that didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. I was carrying that around like a big sack of potatoes everywhere I was going. And so by implementing this Rawsome Release Method, Rawsome incorporating raw, living, vibrant foods, I was able to release these thought patterns. I was able to release these negative feedback loops that I was repeating, playing over and over, these tapes in my mind, and that translated into actions that were not leading to my positive, healthy, dynamic, vibrant life. They were keeping me trapped in these food addiction cycles and these negative emotions, and it felt really, really difficult, like I could never get out of that. So the Rawsome Release Method, yes, is about releasing excess weight, but it's also releasing those thought patterns, those short circuits, those negative feedback loops that we know we want to be free of. And so there are a lot of steps that we can take to go about releasing these things that aren't serving us. And I found for me that the biggest factor that led to those releases, that led to creating practices and making choices in my life that were, creating that upward spiral and the up and up of positive, healthful living, started with the diet. What I put in translates to who I am and what I put out, right? We hear you are what you eat. And it's so true. What we physically put into our bodies is what's metabolized and what's creating ourselves and what's creating that kind of energy output. So almost very obviously, by putting in raw, living, high vibration, nutritional food, we're going to feel alive and great and joyful. And as opposed to choosing food that has been cooked, which is, heated to a temperature that we wouldn't be able to tolerate on our skin, right? When we burn ourselves, it's painful. It's not something that we gravitate towards. So by heating foods, we're killing those nutrients. We're damaging that cellular structure, all of the nutrition and the water and the energy. It gets changed in the cooking process. And I'm not here to villainize cooking. I'm just saying what I've come to learn and experience and how I view the importance of choosing raw living foods so that we can feel Rawsome like rock stars and release everything else that isn't going to help us be the best version of ourselves. So by choosing raw living foods, fruits, delicious, sweet, juicy fruits, and some tender, easy to eat raw veggies. My favorites are lettuce and celery right now. We can recruit our own physiology to heal ourselves. The body is tending toward reaching equilibrium, homeostasis, balance. Like, what can we do to support that process, to support coming into balance, coming into who we truly are, so that we can experience that unlimited freedom to make those choices that bring us joy? And that's different for everyone. Some people, feel bliss when they're on a run. Some people like to dance. Some people like to paint or write. There are so many different manifestations of creative expression, but deep down, we know what we love and we know what we want to try. And if we don't know, that's okay. What can we do to help get us closer to that knowing, right? Maybe it's meditating, eating the right foods, moving the body, getting fresh air, getting sunshine, spending time with loved ones who are supportive and encouraging. All of these things are a holistic approach to rawsomely releasing and inviting in all of the amazing positive changes and results that you deserve. And I am so grateful for you choosing to listen to this brief but hopefully enjoyable podcast episode this week. If you are not already, please follow me on Instagram for daily insights, tips, tricks, motivations, recipes. You can find me at Healthy Dynamic Life. You can also find me on YouTube. My channel is called Lexi's Healthy Dynamic Life. And be sure to stay tuned. In just a few short weeks, I'm going to be sharing with you a brand new program to help you implement the Rawsome Release Method, release all that which doesn't serve you so that you can truly experience your healthy, dynamic life that you deserve. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and I wish you a happy, dynamic day.